Hi everyone, so this video is about cost of travel in Nepal or cost of staying in Nepal. So the biggest two factors I would say is accommodation and transportation. I mean, you have to come here first, obviously, if you're arriving from your country. So the flight, you will have to have money for the flight. Prices are different. I flew from Germany to Nepal through Istanbul, and my flight was 600 euros one way. So, but of course you can get cheaper flights, but what I always would recommend and what I always did, and I'm on the safe side here, to purchase your ticket with the airline directly, not with a third-party travel agency, especially now because of COVID. You never know, will your flight get cancelled, will you get COVID, will you be able to fly, will the country have any restrictions to go? So I would recommend to book with the airline. So, and they will have a disclaimer saying that you can cancel your ticket or reschedule it for free, etc., etc. So you should pay attention to that, definitely. So I booked with Turkish Airlines, and they reschedule your flight and cancel your flight for free. So you will get a refund. I had many flights canceled with Qatar, with Etihad, and no issue at all. They just refund you the ticket, or they will just reschedule your ticket. So there is no issue. I have to make a disclaimer here for Lufthansa. Rahul booked a ticket with Lufthansa to Serbia, and they don't give you free cancellation. Next biggest thing you will have is accommodation, obviously. So in Nepal, the cost of accommodation is pretty cheap. Especially when you come from the West with a little bit of savings. So we are staying at this place currently called Vagabond Guest House in Pokhara. And normally the price for this biggest room we have is 1,500 rupees per night. And that is pretty affordable. And it's a very, very nice place. We can show you some footage. So, but for the corona, because we are staying a little bit for a longer period, and because of corona and everything, so we get this room for 1,000 rupees a night, and that would be $7 a night. So when you stay for some time, so, but you can get definitely also cheaper rooms or in hostels. So I think you can start with like 300 rupees a night in a hostel.
That will be hostel, a dorm bed.
This will be a dorm room, or if you can even rent apartments, and there you will have a monthly rent, of course, for, I think you can get something for 20,000 rupees.
Less than that.
Even less. Like so 12,000 rupees for a month.
Not in the main street.
This will be a little further away. It will not be like the main tourist area. You will have to walk whatever, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. All right, so cost of accommodation can be as less as $80 a month, depending on like what your preferences are, what kind of facilities you want, etc., etc. So we can just show you in which places we stayed. You can, of course, the prices up are, we stayed in a $50 room. There you will have more facility, and then you can go down like to this. We can show you some examples how this can look. All right, so that was accommodation. Okay, so next thing will be food and drink. I don't know what. Most places will have like this big water containers where you just can refill your water bottle. And I would definitely recommend that, because then you don't use so many plastic bottles. We try to avoid it. It's not always possible, but we try to avoid this. So water, mostly you will get for free, or just a 1 liter water bottle costs 20 rupees. This is 10 cents, 15 cents, something like that. Okay, so food, for example, maybe you know this Nepali thali. And this you can get like for 200 rupees. That's $1.50. A very, very nice one. This is a very nice dish. Or like chow mein, this is like noodles, fried noodles or fried rice. You can get like for 100 rupees, and it can be a very, very nice dish. Of course, prices up are open. You can also go to more fancier places. So if you add up the food when you can eat for, let's say, 400 rupees a day. You eat 2 meals, 400 rupees a day. This would be like you can get even cheaper, but that would be like an average, like 400, 500 rupees a day for one person for food. You can manage like that. When you want to go from A to B, and transportation is pretty cheap here. If you have like, for example, from Kathmandu to Pokhara, it's 5 hours trip. It's 200 kilometers. It's 5 hours. If you go quickly, 4 to 5 hours. But as you saw in if you didn't see our video, Kathmandu to Pokhara, we will link it in the description. You check it out. We took 10 hours with the taxi. We are so glad that we didn't take the bus, but that's another story. You can get a very cheap local bus for like 700 rupees. Yeah, that's $5. Yeah, pretty much $5. We paid 6,000 for a private car. This is also a Corona price. It can be more expensive during high season without Corona. It can be less also. So 6,000 rupees is about $40 for this 5-hour trip for one car. So if you are 4 people in this car, then it's like barely, it's like $10 per person for this whole long trip.
Like this.
Okay, so you can also rent a bicycle for 100 rupees an hour. You can also rent it for the whole day, and then of course you can just get it cheaper, like a whole package, whole day price. I think you can make it around 500, 600.
We did in 600.
We did it in 600. That was tourist time. So yeah, and renting a scooty can be like 500 an hour. No,
300.
300 an hour when you rent it for the whole day, like 1,000. Yeah. So that would be transportation. As I said, like buses are very cheap. If you just go from Pokhara to the next village with the bus, it will be like 20 rupees, like 15 cents. Okay, and then of course activities when you want to do something like paragliding, rafting, trekking, all this of course are extra costs. For example, for a trekking permit, depending on the destination, for a foreigner you have to pay around 6,000. It's like 4,000 for the trek and 2,000 kind of fees. So for a foreigner it would be 6,000. For an Indian or for a SAARC country member is way less. I think it's adding up to 2,000. So if you are going for trekking, so 6,000 will only be the permits. And then of course you have to pay accommodation and food, etc. So the higher you go, the more expensive the food and the accommodation will become. So it's definitely more expensive than in the city. For example, an activity like paragliding will cost you around 6,500 rupees to do. Bungee jumping was for example 4,500. We also went here in Pokhara, this Peva Lake. It's right here from our accommodation, and there you can book a boat for 1,300 rupees for the whole day. It's a very, very nice activity. Or when you want to buy clothes, for example, I mean, this is not a must do, right? You can bring all your clothes, but you can buy cheap clothes here from like pants starting from 300 rupees or something, and of course you can also pay more. So but clothes is of course not a must do. Then next thing would be insurance. If you are coming, if you want a health insurance, though health things are not very expensive here, but if you want to be insured, like if you have an accident or something, you want to get flown out back to your home country or something, this is a thing you have to consider. This is very different from country to country. There are this insurance, I will look it up, I will blend it in the name. They are insuring worldwide. I know they charge for half a year insurance about $600, and they include like everything. for me from Germany, when I insure, I have for everything like included. With COVID, I don't know if it's including COVID because that was before COVID. So you will have to see if your insurance company is including COVID. It was around 300 euros for half a year for 6 months insurance. Okay, then of course medical stuff. This is things that are not foreseeable, right? That you will have to see. For example, Rahul had something with the tooth, and we went to the dentist, and for one tooth we paid 3,000 Nepali rupees. So that's $15. That was a filling. He had something with the tooth, and he had to make a filling. So that's just $15. So it's very affordable. If you want to drink or go out in nightlife, alcohol is not like very cheap. I will show you. I have a menu from the place where we stayed. I can blend in the prices. You can see like average prices for drinks. So that was about it. So we will blend you in like the whole monthly cost of all the things we do here with activity and blah blah blah. So this is what we spend in 1 month staying in Nepal. So okay, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, leave us a comment and we will be glad to answer you anything. See you in the next video.